Good morning, guys. This is Midlife Wanderings. Today I am giving you an update on our preparation for a trip to the Philippines. This is episode 3, and on my last episode, I promised I will talk about the red, yellow, and green list countries. So, why don't we start? So I have here a list of the red list countries. There are 13 of them. So let me read them to you. The red list countries are countries and territories that are high risk for COVID-19. And these are those countries: Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Canada, Curacao, however you pronounce it. I do not know how to pronounce this one. French Guiana, Iceland, Malta, Mayotte, Mozambique, Puerto Rico, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Spain, U.S. Virgin Islands. Those 13 countries are considered under the red list countries that are high risk for COVID-19. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said those coming from or who have been to red list countries and territories within the last 14 days will now be allowed entry into the Philippines. Take note that before they were prohibited to entering the Philippines except those that availed the government initiated repatriation and bayanihan flights. But starting January 16 through the 31st, Filipinos who come from these countries are allowed to come home, but of course they have to follow the protocols. So the protocols for red list countries, so they can come home, according to Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles, all travelers, whether you're from the red, green, or yellow list countries, are required to present a negative result of an RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to departure from the country of origin. So, fully vaccinated travelers from red list countries need to undergo facility-based quarantine and get tested on the 7th day. Once they get negative RT-PCR test result, they can be discharged provided they observe home quarantine until the 14th day. So that's what Filipinos coming from the red list countries need to obey. Those who are unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, and with inoculation status that cannot be independently validated are required to undergo facility-based quarantine and take an RT-PCR test on the 7th day. So it's the same, no? So vaccinated and unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, and those that cannot be validated are required to undergo facility-based quarantine. So it's the same. 7th day RT-PCR test. And oh, okay, never mind. So the fully vaccinated travelers from red list countries need to undergo facility-based quarantine and get tested on the 7th day. So once they get negative RT-PCR test result, they can be discharged, provided they observe home quarantine until the 14th day. Now those who are not vaccinated or partially vaccinated, or whose vaccination cannot be verified or validated, they are required to undergo facility-based quarantine and then take an RT-PCR test on the 7th day. They may be discharged only upon the completion of a 10-day facility-based quarantine, regardless of a negative test result. So even if they have the negative test result, they will still need to complete the 10-day facility-based quarantine. Then they will undergo home quarantine until the 14th day. So that's the difference between those who are vaccinated and those who are not fully vaccinated, for Filipinos coming from the red list countries. Now, the green and yellow lists. Let's go to the green list countries. There are, according to my notes, there are 32 countries. Try to pronounce it right, but if I don't pronounce it right, forgive me. The Greenless countries are Bangladesh, Benin, Bhutan, British Virgin Islands, China, Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Falkland Islands, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Japan, Kosovo, Kyrgyzstan, Montserrat, Morocco, Niger, Oman, Pakistan, Paraguay, Sabah, Special Municipality of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Saint Barthélemy, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Saint Eustatius, Taiwan, Timor-Leste, and Uganda. So if you don't see your country on this red and green list, it means that you fall under the yellow list. So I don't see the United States here, so that means JJ and I fall under the yellow list countries. So what do you do when you fall under the green and or yellow list countries? What are the difference? The countries that are on the green list are apparently have low COVID risk. Okay? So if you're coming from the green list country and if you are fully vaccinated, you are no longer required to observe mandatory facility-based quarantine. However, you need to self-monitor for any COVID-19 signs or symptoms for 7 days. That's what Secretary Nograles stated. Unvaccinated and partially vaccinated passengers from green list territories and individuals whose vaccination status cannot be verified must go on facility-based quarantine until they get the result of an RT-PCR test, which will be done on the 5th day. They also need to self-monitor for symptoms until the 14th day. So we got that. So if you are fully vaccinated, you don't need to quarantine at the hotel, but you have to self-monitor for any COVID-19 signs or symptoms for 7 days. If you are not vaccinated, if you are partially vaccinated, or your vaccination cannot be verified, you must go to the facility-based quarantine until you get the result of an RT-PCR test, which will be done on the 5th day. So basically, book 5 nights, 6 days at a hotel. The 5th day, you'll be swabbed, and then once you get a negative result, then you can go. You also need to monitor yourself for symptoms until the 14th day. Okay, now for us who will be coming from the yellow countries, for fully vaccinated travelers from yellow countries, they need to undergo facility-based quarantine and get tested on the 5th day. And if they are negative for COVID-19, they can be released for completion of home quarantine up to the 7th day. Unvaccinated and the partially vaccinated travelers from countries under a yellow list, or those whose vaccination cannot be validated, must stay in a facility upon arrival and take an RT-PCR test on the 7th day. Once they get negative test results, they can complete home quarantine up to the 14th day. So, JJ and I are fully vaccinated, so what we need to do, pre-book a hotel for 5 nights. We get swabbed on the 5th day, and if we test negative, then we can go on to Leyte, and we will be monitoring ourselves up to the 7th day. So another 2 days of self-monitoring. Whereas if we are not vaccinated, we will have to book a hotel for, it looks like 7th day. So we will have to book a hotel for 7 days and then get swabbed on the 7th day. Once the result is out and you are negative and we are negative, then we can complete our home quarantine up to 14 days. So that's the difference. Because we are vaccinated, we're only going to monitor ourselves up to 7 days. But if we are not vaccinated, then we will have to end up monitoring ourselves up to 14th day. So that's my update for today. And if you have any comments or some inquiries, you can put that in the comment section and I will try to answer it the best I can. I am making some spring roll, Filipino style, and selling it, or no, not selling it, but I am going to see if, well, could call it selling it for a suggested donation. My goal is to be able to raise money enough to buy 2 chainsaws, and hopefully I will reach that goal, because like I said in my former blogs, they will probably need cleaning for the next several months, and because of the vast damage that Typhoon Odette has brought upon the island, it would take a long time for us to be able to clear the debris and the trees that fell. My plan when I get there is to buy chainsaws, and then I'm going to coordinate cleanup on the beaches, because the beaches are really damaged due to the many coconut trees and other trees that litters the beaches. So that's one project that I'm thinking of. And then in my neighborhood, I'm gonna have another project going on, which would involve the women. So anyway, I am thinking, helping out one household at a time. And if you would like to help out, if you would like to contribute towards that, I would really be grateful. And I'm sure once I get there and show you what's going on and what needs there are, I hope you'll get on board with me and help out those people. I'm kind of hesitant about asking, because here in the US we have problems too, like even the Kentucky tornado. They are still rebuilding, and they too need help. And then there's the fire in Colorado recently. They need help too. Except I do notice that here in America, when some calamity like that happens, we have the government right away, on the spot, on site, ground zero, right away, helping people. Over in the Philippines, not so much. So I want to do something for my kababayans and my neighbors. So anyway, now I am rambling on and on and on. I probably won't stop, and so I might as well stop now. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you follow me, and this is going to be an exciting journey. This is Midlife Wanderings. I will see you on my next vlog. Thank you. Bye.